Welcome to Trivia Clips. Today, two legends of 90s rock face off. Axl Rose, the wild voice of Guns N' Roses, and Kurt Cobain, the grunge icon of Nirvana. You'll hear 7 shocking facts. Can you tell which are true and which are not? Let's begin. 1. Axl Rose was once arrested for biting a security guard during a concert. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, true. In 1991, Axl sparked a riot in St. Louis after diving into the crowd. He was charged with inciting the violence and left the stage mid-show. In a different altercation, he allegedly bit a guard during an argument. His volatile behavior became a defining trait of the Use Your Illusion era. Multiple arrests followed for incidents during live performances. Fans loved his fire, but promoters feared his unpredictability. 2. Kurt Cobain once auditioned to join the Melvins as their full-time drummer. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, false. Cobain was close friends with the Melvins and admired their sound. However, he never officially auditioned to be their drummer. Dale Crover from the Melvins did play with early Nirvana. Kurt actually started as a drummer in early bands like Fecal Matter. But by the time Nirvana formed, he was fully focused on vocals and guitar. The Melvins did influence his raw, sludge-inspired tone. 3. Axl Rose legally changed his name from William Bailey to W. Axl Rose. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, true. He was born William Bruce Rose Jr., but raised as William Bailey. As a teen, he discovered the truth about his birth father. This led to identity struggles and eventual rebellion. He legally adopted the name W. Axl Rose before signing with Geffen. The W nods to his birth name. Axl was his early band. The full name became iconic in rock history. 4. Kurt Cobain hated the success of Smells Like Teen Spirit and called it a pop song. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. Despite its massive success, Cobain quickly grew tired of the song. He felt it overshadowed Nirvana's deeper, more meaningful tracks. He often called it a cheap Pixies ripoff and too commercial. At some shows, he deliberately played it sloppily or not at all. Cobain's disdain for fame and commercialization was well known. Ironically, that very song defined a generation. 5. Axl Rose once said he was a huge fan of Elton John's songwriting. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. Axl has repeatedly praised Elton John as one of his biggest influences. He admired Elton's emotional range and piano-driven ballads. At Freddie Mercury's tribute concert, Axl and Elton performed together. They sang Bohemian Rhapsody and November Rain that night. Axl called it a career highlight and showed great respect. He even studied Elton's phrasing for vocal control. 6. Kurt Cobain's favorite Beatles member was George Harrison. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. False. Cobain openly stated his favorite Beatle was John Lennon. He identified with Lennon's sensitivity and anti-establishment views. In his journals, Kurt wrote, "I love him" under Lennon's photo. He often cited Lennon as his emotional and artistic role model. Songs like About a Girl reflect that stripped, melodic influence. Harrison was respected, but Lennon was his true hero. 7. Axl Rose once disappeared for nearly 2 weeks during a Guns N' Roses tour. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. During the early 90s, Axl vanished just before scheduled shows. His absences led to massive delays and canceled gigs. Bandmates and managers had no clue where he was. Rumors ranged from breakdowns to personal issues to power plays. Axl later claimed he needed time for emotional recovery. These disappearances became part of his erratic legend. Cierre parte 1. Eso es el final de parte 1, pero la batalla no ha terminado todavía. More twisted truths and lies are waiting in part 2. Can you handle them? Hit that subscribe button and continue to part 2 now. Welcome back to Trivia Clips. In part 1, we uncovered wild stories and rock myths. Now it's time to test your knowledge even further with 7 new questions. Will you spot the truth or fall for the lies? 8. Kurt Cobain once said he wished he had joined a punk band instead of starting Nirvana. You have 5 seconds to answer, true or false. Correct answer, true. Cobain was heavily influenced by punk, especially the underground scene. He often expressed regret about Nirvana becoming mainstream. In interviews, he said he admired bands like Black Flag and Flipper. He longed for a raw, authentic punk career over rock stardom. Kurt hated being labeled the voice of a generation. His heart remained closer to punk rebellion than grunge fame. 9. Axl Rose once showed up 3 hours late to a concert and blamed the venue's air conditioning. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, true. In 2011, Guns N' Roses performed in Nashville with a long delay. Fans were furious, but Axl claimed the cold air hurt his voice. He said he couldn't perform under those conditions. Delays were a common issue throughout his career. Sometimes he blamed illness or technical issues, often unclear. His diva reputation only grew with each incident. 10. Kurt Cobain was once offered a modeling contract by Calvin Klein. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. Despite his anti-fashion stance, Cobain received the offer in the early 90s. He declined, calling the fashion industry superficial and absurd. His thrift store grunge look ironically became a global trend. Courtney Love confirmed the offer in later interviews. Kurt was deeply uncomfortable with being commodified. He hated how his image was marketed without his consent. 11. Axl Rose played piano on the studio version of November Rain. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. Axl composed and played the iconic piano parts himself. The song was written years before it was finally recorded. He insisted on its epic orchestral arrangement. Slash's soaring guitar solo and Axl's piano made it legendary. It became one of the most expensive videos ever made. November Rain remains a defining Guns N' Roses moment. 12. Kurt Cobain once destroyed a hotel room because he saw a spider. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. False. Cobain did trash hotel rooms, but not over spiders. Many incidents were due to drug use, depression, or frustration. In one case, he scribbled lyrics across the walls of a hotel. He often left behind artwork, poems, and damage. While chaotic, his outbursts were rarely over trivial fears. The spider story is urban legend with no basis in fact. 13. Axl Rose was considered for the role of Jim Morrison in the 1991 film The Doors. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer, false. While Axl admired Jim Morrison, he was never cast or considered. The role was famously played by Val Kilmer after heavy preparation. Kilmer even sang Morrison's parts in the film. Axl did reference The Doors during concerts and interviews. His stage persona was often compared to Morrison's energy, but he had no direct involvement with Oliver Stone's project. 14. Kurt Cobain named his daughter Frances Bean because she looked like a bean on the ultrasound. You have 5 seconds to answer. True or false? Correct answer. True. Kurt said her ultrasound looked like a little kidney bean. That moment inspired her nickname, Bean. Her full name is Frances Bean Cobain. She was born in August 1992 in Los Angeles. Despite the chaos in their lives, Kurt deeply loved her. Many of his late writings mention her as his hope. Cierre parte 2. Eso es el final de esta intensa confrontación entre dos íconos del rock. How many did you get right? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. More legendary battles are coming to Trivia Clips. See you in the next challenge.